For any consulting firm, time isn't just money. It's pretty much your entire inventory, right? And every single hour that isn't tracked and billed correctly, well, that's revenue that just vanishes. Poof, gone forever. So today, we're going to tackle this problem head-on. We're building an automated system with QuickBooks and Claude AI that's designed to stop that revenue leak right in its tracks. Let's get into how we're going to do it.
All right, here's the game plan. First up, we're going to really diagnose this revenue leak. Then we'll walk through the AI setup and actually build the agent that goes and finds that lost money. After that, a quick demo to see it all in action. And finally, we'll look at the absolutely massive impact this has on your bottom line.
So how exactly are firms bleeding all this money? Well, it's not some big dramatic catastrophe. It's more like death by 1,000 cuts. You've got these small, consistent little gaps in the process that just add up to a huge financial drain over time. It's a slow leak, happening every single day. So what does that actually look like in real-world numbers? Get this. For a small, just a 7-person consulting firm, the revenue lost from unentered time alone can hit a staggering $350,000 a year. Let that sink in. And this isn't because people are doing bad work. Not at all. It's because the processes are broken.
Yeah, and this loss, it all starts with something we call the entry gap. It's super simple, really. It's just the difference between the hours your team actually worked versus the hours they remembered to log. And why does this happen? Well, it's the friction in your systems. It's just plain old forgetfulness after a long day, and honestly, the sheer hassle of manual data entry. And every single one of those forgotten hours is revenue you can never, ever get back.
And this right here perfectly sums up the old way of doing things. I'm talking about the manual month-end scramble. You know what I mean? It's this reactive, totally chaotic process. For the first week, your accountants are just chasing people down. Then, the invoices finally go out, but they're late and probably full of errors. And the rest of the month, it's just spent cleaning up that mess, which absolutely guarantees you're leaking revenue and getting paid late.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk solution. It's time to start building. The absolute foundation of our whole automated system is creating a secure bridge, a connection between your financial data sitting in QuickBooks and our smart little AI agent.
And the setup really just boils down to 3 key steps. First, you've got to register your app on the QuickBooks Developer Portal. That's how you get your client ID and secret. Second, use a super secure protocol, it's called OAuth 2.0, to grant your script permission. And finally, you swap a one-time code for what's called an access token. Think of it like a digital key that lets your script talk directly and securely to QuickBooks. That is the bridge we're building.
Okay, so our systems are connected. Now we get to build the brains of the whole operation, the AI agent. This is where we teach our program to do that tedious reconciliation task that used to eat up hours and hours of manual work. Let's dive in and see how it actually works.
The agent's workflow is actually beautifully simple when you break it down. First, it just reaches into QuickBooks and fetches all the time entries. Easy enough. Next, it analyzes that data. It's comparing the hours that should be there against what was actually logged to pinpoint the gaps. And then finally, and honestly, this is the magic part, it hands that analysis over to Claude AI to make sense of it all and whip up a helpful, human-friendly message.
Now check this out, because what's really interesting here is the prompt we give to Claude. We're not just saying, hey, summarize this data. No, we're giving it a whole persona. We're telling it, you are a friendly but direct operations manager. By doing that, we make sure the message it creates is encouraging and collaborative, not some robotic, accusatory email. This right here is how you turn raw, boring data into communication that actually works.
Okay, so we've connected our data, we've built our agent, now it's time to see this thing in action. Remember that painful, week-long manual scramble we talked about? Just watch how our automation crushes that down into a process that takes, well, literally seconds.
All right, here we go. The script is running. See that? It instantly connects to QuickBooks, pulls Tom's time entries. The analysis is immediate. Bam! It found 11.5 missing hours and pinpoints the exact dates. Now it's feeding that info to Claude to generate the reminder and boom! Message sent. Action taken. It is literally that fast.
And here it is, the final product. I mean, just look at this message. It's personal, it's positive, it's super specific. It tells Tom exactly which days are missing, but then it quantifies the impact. We're talking about $2,200 in revenue, and it ends with a really clear, super easy call to action. This is just infinitely better than those generic, hey, enter your time emails that nobody pays attention to.
So when you put it all together, what does this really add up to? The impact here isn't just about saving a little time or convenience. It's about fundamentally changing the financial health of the entire firm.
We're shifting from a leaky, manual process to a completely automated, secure one.
I mean, the difference is just night and day. Think about it. What used to take over a full day of work every single month now takes less than 5 minutes. Instead of reacting to problems weeks after they've happened, you're proactively catching them in real time. You go from a system with guaranteed revenue leaks to one that actively recovers lost revenue. And you replace those generic nagging emails with helpful, personalized alerts people actually appreciate.
Let's just really visualize that time savings for a second. We're talking about going from 480 minutes, that's a full 8-hour day of tedious, soul-crushing admin work every single month, down to just 5 minutes. That's a 99% reduction in that administrative overhead. That's just wild.
So the real takeaway here is this. By automating this process, you've done so much more than just save a bit of time. You've closed that entry gap for good. You've literally transformed a painful, reactive chore into a proactive, intelligent system that actively protects and monetizes your firm's most valuable and most perishable asset, your team's time.
And look, this workflow, it's really just the beginning. What this proves is that a major financial headache can absolutely be solved with some intelligent automation. So the final question I want to leave you with is this. Now that revenue reconciliation is off your plate, what's the next critical financial process in your firm that's still leaking money? Where else is cash just silently slipping through the cracks?